because everything is happening today.
All right, we are live. So welcome everybody to the Russell Hantz Show and the announcement for our Survivor rewatch. So we're going to be doing them here with Russell tonight. Thanks for coming on. I know you're a very busy guy.
Look at my hat.
It's having some hat trouble.
I feel like it's crooked. Are we on YouTube?
Yes, we are.
Okay. What's happening, guys? We're going to talk about a little show that Cody is going to be hosting, but I wanted to come with him and help introduce it. Thought it was people are doing it. I think Fair Play does it. I think Rob does. Rob? I don't know if Rob does it.
I think, yeah, there's been quite a few channels and podcasts, I think, that have kind of done similar things. I don't know if they've all gone through every season or if it's just been ones that they've kind of handpicked in select seasons, but yeah, there are some similar things out there.
I think it's pretty cool to do stuff like this right now due to everybody staying home. We're trying to give as much content as we can give. As you can see my channel, you see all kind of content. We have The Amazing Race, we have The Bachelor, we have Big Brother every single day. We're putting out content on that. So this is going to be, you want to go ahead and explain the content?
Yeah, this is going to kind of take us back to our roots of what everybody's used to seeing on the Russell Hantz Show, I think. It's going to be all Survivor content. We're going to start and do a complete series rewatch. So we're going to start at season 1 Borneo and go all the way through to winners of. We're going to start and do a complete series rewatch. We're going to start at season 1 Borneo. I'm getting an echo.
World.
There we go. Okay. We're going to cover all of the seasons, start to finish. We'll have guests on every week, so you guys can tune in and listen to some commentary. We'll get some castaways to join us as well, and
maybe from that season.
Yeah, hopefully from that season.
What season are you going to start with?
We're going to start right off at season 1 Borneo. So we're going to start off. Our first full episode is going to be on Sunday at 8. And we're going to do episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Borneo. So if you guys are going to follow along and you want to participate in the rewatch, then check out episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 1 of Survivor. That's what we'll be talking about on Sunday. We're going to have Robbie Siliker on Sunday.
Yeah, we can get some people from the actual episode to come on and talk about it. What's interesting about Borneo to me, a lot of people watched it. I watched it, but I can't remember thinking of anything as the season's going on of strategic play other than Richard Hatch, of course. But I like to watch it because going back, because I'm going to watch it too. I think I'm going to do the same thing because my mind is different, especially now since I played the game.
Yeah.
Since I played it, I'm going to think totally different of what I'm seeing. Now, I can remember watching some clips of Borneo and thinking that Richard Hatch was extremely overrated because who in the world wouldn't create something called an alliance? Who wouldn't get a group of people together and have the same vote? It just didn't make it doesn't make sense to me that you don't say, hey, why don't we all just vote together and vote this person out? It's a common sense move. And sometimes I get flack for saying that, but I think it's just, to me and how I play, it's a common sense move. Yeah. So, he's a great player. He did, he created the Godfather of Survivor. But going back to that season when I'm watching it, I remember watching, like I said, clips thinking, these people, it's a joke. Because
they show up and they act like it's a camping trip. Like nobody's thought about it.
But I think that when you rewatch it, you have to put that in perspective. That this is the first season.
Right. Nobody has set the stage for these people. They don't know what to expect. Nobody had ever seen it or done anything like it. So
to them, it is like a camping trip. To them, it's like we're going camping and voting people out by alphabetical order.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
That's insane to me. Do you know that Richard Hatch won that show by one vote, and that vote was because someone voted his letters in their name or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
Because he
that's
was up
how
against Kelly Wigglesworth.
yeah.
Him and Kelly were the final two, and it was separated by one vote.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's you have to look at it in a different eye and a different mindset when you watch it, because you cannot watch it thinking, what the hell are these people doing? Because that's what I did. And I
Yeah.
realized, wait a second, this is the first season. Let's act like the Survivors never happened, because that's exactly what you're watching before
Yeah.
Survivor ever happened.
And
Now,
I think when I went back to watch season 1, because I didn't start watching Survivor until probably season 17 or 18 originally. So my fiance and I did a rewatch last year, and we started at season 1 Borneo, and we worked our way through. I think we're up to like season 31 right now. But it was so funny to me just to watch even how Jeff acts during the episodes, where you can tell that he hasn't necessarily established his process for the show yet, and he'll say that in interviews that he does that you see on YouTube and stuff. But the whole show, it's almost like watching a different show than it is from watching Survivor now.
yeah, and that's we got a comment right there. He said it's like that's what it was. It was picking a number. He won by picking the right number. That's right. That's what that was at the end. And I don't know why they didn't pick 5, because that's the number. If you're going to pick first, the number's 5.
Yeah.
They don't even. He don't even do that. He's not even strategic enough to pick 5.
So it's crazy. It's just crazy. The whole season's kind of crazy, but I love it. I really enjoy going back and watching it early Survivor. Some of my favorite seasons are, within the first 10 seasons of Survivor. And then, it kind of picks back up again in the 20s, I think. But yeah, it's going to be a fun experience to go back and watch it all kind of as a group and collectively, and be able to come back and discuss it during the week.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do that, and to see how much the game has evolved. That's going to be the crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to blow your mind watching it. And anybody that does the rewatch with you guys, this may get to where people start getting involved in rewatching it with you guys and going live every episode to talk about it with you. But anybody that rewatches it is going to be blown away of how far the game has become. It's not even close. It's not even close to what is it, Robbins and Caruso type experience. That's literally how it started.
I watched the first episode yesterday, just getting ready for our first official episode of this show on Sunday. And even just watching the first immunity challenge and seeing how it was set up, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is peanuts compared to what they would build for a challenge now. You can tell that they didn't have a great big set. They didn't have all these fancy obstacles. It was really just a pretty simplistic, straightforward thing. I remember
my first challenge I went to wasn't as impressive as the other challenge in season 19 Samoa, but I remember walking up and seeing the tribal council area. You guys, if you pay attention to production, if you pay attention to that side of it, like the quality of the builds and stuff like that, always look at the tribal council that they set up. They take a lot of pride in what they do. When I walked up there and seen what they did in Samoa, it blew my mind. I'm like, this is incredible. Incredible. And then heroes versus villains, it just, to me, it was another notch. So they everything is so solid. Everything they use, nothing is cheap. And that's what I like about it. I like it because they take pride in what they do and respect, and they make it, they make it go a long ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you I've listened to some people that are involved in production on YouTube and stuff, and when you listen to their stories about trying to figure out how tribal council is going to work and the lighting, and it's going to be, blue lighting until someone gets voted out, and then you switch to red, and then, all the small details that they put into the production of the show is amazing.
Oh, it's crazy. It'll blow your mind. If people that like production and camera and just anything, sound, anything like that, if you are into that type of thing, if you're in production and you're trying to further your career, if they would just allow some people just to go watch to see what happens, it's incredible what they accomplish.
Oh, absolutely.
Not only do they have this going on, let me tell you, you have, because I'm going to tell you a story in a little bit. So you're 12 people that's in here, you can get to hear something that I've never said before. Not only you have what's going on, you have to deal with extreme personalities.
Yeah.
We were picked from tens of thousands. You can see me, you see my shows, you see what I do. Everyone knows. I mean, I am who I am. I can't change that, and I wouldn't want to change it. But it comes from an aggressive family. I was raised in an aggressive family. Then my on my mom's side was a crazy good family. My dad's side was super aggressive. So it made it to where I could be aggressive but still hold back. You know what I mean? It's like when I can literally sit there and someone scream in my face on these shows. I can have someone spit in my face and I won't do nothing on these shows because I'm so focused in what I'm there for that's how deep it could go for me. In real life, I'm coming at your throat like immediately. I can't even think. In real life, I'll black out and I'll attack you. And I'm so focused in Survivor. If that happens, then I won't do anything because I know I'm ready for it. Before I even went out there, I'm like in the zone. In real life, you don't get like that. You don't get in the zone. You don't get like that.
Yeah.
But one time we had tribal council, and I've been coughing a lot lately. Maybe I got the Rona, maybe I don't. I don't know. But don't worry, you guys won't get it through the screen.
That's not a computer virus, right?
Yeah. Computer virus. But one time we were going in. It was coach was voted out, just got voted out. Heroes versus villains. We were going in. What they do is they put you in tents, separate tents, and they have a tent where you can go and you talk and you look at the doctor. And he says, "How are you feeling?" Stuff like that. Check your blood or your pressure and all that stuff. They do that every day. Maybe twice a day, but they check. When you go there, they do it. They don't do it every day. So they make sure everything's fine, that you're healthy. Then they mic you up one at a time, and then usually they say, "Hey, do you want to see a doctor, or do you want to see the doctor, or what's his name?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, I got a cut here, or whatever it may be." And then as that happens, they mic you up, and you're not allowed to talk to anyone. Here's the difference between Australian Survivor and American Survivor. I know this is about the show, but I wanted to talk about a little interesting things.
Yeah, no, this is part of the show because that's part of what we want to do and talk about the episode. So, throw in stuff like this.
When I was in Australian Survivor, they gave you bottled water and fruit when you're sitting in this tent.
Really?
You get none of that. You get nothing in American Survivor. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're tough. They're tough. Aussie's tough." Some of them are. One of the toughest one I know, I played with. He's the most athletic guy I've ever seen in my entire life, even including Aussie, somebody I played with in Australia. But besides that, in American Survivor, they mic you up. You can't talk. No water, for sure. They pass around water in Australia, bottled water, and fruit. You get apples.
That's crazy.
So you in American Survivor, you can't say a word. You really can't talk in Australian Survivor either, but that's all of it. Then all of a sudden, we hear some screaming going on, and it's coach. So now they're dealing with lighting, they're dealing with mics, they're dealing with all this. Coach is in another tent. He's already voted off, but he's a jury now. So they got their jury tents. they're not with us anymore. We don't see them. They come in after us, right? When they say, and here's your jury. So we'll go first. And Coach was screaming. Coach said to me that he took off. He started walking. I'm out. I'm done with this. I'm done with this mess. Because it was Coach Courtney and JT. They were supposed to do they had a little band called the Dragons. I think they just released an album.
I was going to say, I think I just recently heard something about this.
Right. So they're back into it. But so they wanted to wear the sunglasses and I'll wear black and walk in there and sit there and almost steal the show type thing, which I don't know what I would have done if I'd seen that. But that's what they wanted to do. They asked permission. Jeff said, okay, you can do it. Everybody was like, good. It's all good. And then the last minute, they said they can't do it. You guys can't do it. Y'all can't do that. Take off your glasses. We ain't gonna do it like this. So Coach loses it and was like, I'm out. Fuck this production. I'm gone. So he's walking out the tent. Like he's walking down the road in Samoa.
Where's he gonna go?
He's just gonna go. He's gonna go. I don't know, but he was leaving. So it's crazy because that happened to me in Australian Survivor too. I took off. I took my mic and I yanked it off of me, threw it away, and I said, I'm out of here. Because they can't put their hands on you.
Right.
If they try and you're like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Don't, you out your mind, you touching me?
Yeah.
In this environment right now, what's going on? So they ain't gonna try to hold Coach back. I mean, you can try to, hey, but the girls, they have this one particular girl, her name is Caitlin. They're so good at their jobs, dealing with people like us, dealing with people that just, you think, oh, coaches, Rob does it too. Boston Rob, one time they told him stop, and he wouldn't stop doing what he was doing. They were like, shut up, Rob, stop talking. And he wouldn't stop talking gameplay while it was all shut down, while there was no cameras there. Then finally, I'm like, Rob, shut the fuck up, man. Like, we have a production here. We have to follow rules, man. Like, and they were like, looking at me.
But well, you do get out with them, right?
I didn't mind. But the production is so good at what they do. They're able to calm it down. They're able to, because they've been dealing with it. Usually, these people have been dealing with these extreme personalities. Especially Caitlin. She's been there since season, 9 or something. She's one of the main girls that helps with casting.
Yep. I
don't know why she ain't running the show on the inside. When Lynn Spielman got fired, Caitlin Moore should have got the job. And everybody that deals with production knows her, loves her. I got upset a few times outside the camera. I got upset inside the camera too, but it was always with production.
Yeah.
It wasn't with, for instance, one time, man, season 19, I was freezing my ass off. It was so cold and miserable. I went 10 days without eating. At one point, I went 10 days without eating anything. Cold. So I was shell-shocked. And because it rained for 10 days straight that one time in Samoa. It was miserable, but it rained way more than 10 days, but 10 days straight, nonstop.
Right.
So I don't know if you remember, our hands were coming off.
Oh, I remember.
I was so chapped, I was bleeding. It was bad.
Wow.
So I couldn't walk. It was miserable. And then season 20 happens, I go straight back to play again. Right back.
Same island, right?
After I just suffered on the same island.
Yep.
After I just suffered. You want me to come out and play again? So if you can remember Sandra saying at one point, she said, because my clothes were always wet in Samoa. My body was always wet. Then I finally, at the end of Samoa, when I got something dry, I found a tree and I'd stuff all my clothes in a tree to make sure it was dry. So at night, Because if you get wet, it don't matter if it rains 30 minutes. If you get wet, you're done for the night. It's over. So I put all my clothes in a tree. That's why I always walk around in my underwear until it got dry, until we get a tarp. But you can remember Sandra saying one time, he never gets in the ocean and washes his ass.
Yeah.
Remember her saying that?
I do remember that, yes.
I literally was shell-shocked. I did not want the water. I didn't want to get near water. It was terrifying that I would get wet, because I thought in my mind, I'm like, I get wet, I'm going to stay cold. And that's just how it's going to be. So one time in production, I get up, heroes versus villains, and they want me to sit in water. Now I'm about to go to bed. They get me right before the sun goes down, and they say, you know the footage. It's when you see me holding up the idol when JT gives me his idol. And I said, you don't give an idol to the enemy, especially when his name is Russell Hantz.
Right.
Well, before all that happened, I wasn't having it. I was like, I'm not sitting in that water. I'm like, I'm about to go to sleep. You fucking sitting out, man. I'm having it out with the camera guy. And he's like, no, sit in the water. You got to do this. So I'm like, so I decided if I had I took everything off and I did it in my underwear. And then I was like, I could take that off, and then put my shorts on. And then I can have my shorts and my pants for tonight with it being cold. So I decided to do it. But, man, I wasn't getting near the water. Not after that season.
No, I don't blame you.
When she says that, it's funny because I didn't realize anybody noticed it. Because we all stink like shit. Everyone. The beautiful Parvati smells like a fish out the water. And that I was saying, Sandra, terrible. All our breath smells. All our body smells. We don't get toothbrush. We don't get a toilet paper. Toilet paper. You don't get toilet paper. Oh, guess what? Australian Survivor, you get a toilet and toilet paper.
Really?
They have a toilet there for you.
Oh my God. I've seen it on American Survivor a couple times when it's like part of a reward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Reward. No, they had an outhouse.
That's crazy.
Outhouse. A big old hole was dug, and a real toilet, was sitting on top of a piece of board that you stepped on, and then you went right there, and they had toilet paper, they had lotions and all kind of stuff.
Wow.
It's not Survivor. And when the whole time I was telling them, that's why you always hear me say on any interview you ever see me do or anything, except for my show here, I say I played Survivor 3 times, because that's what I did. I played Survivor 3 times. I'm not going to give respect to an organization that does that. And I told the executive producer in her face. So it wasn't like I'm talking behind their back. I'm like, this is trash. And Mark Burnett, I don't know if he knows about this, but this isn't what he wanted Survivor to be.
No, not at all.
I'm the wrong one.
With the Australian
you get 5 sets of clothing over there. You can have 5 sets. You can have 5. You can have insulated underwear. You can have sweats on top of the insulated underwear, and you can have a jacket with a hoodie, and then just five things you can have.
Yeah, which is crazy because, like you said, that's not the vision that Mark Burnett had for the show when he started it. Because the whole concept is you're like shipwrecked on the island, right? You weren't expecting to be there, and here you are now, and you have to, survive. And of course, there's other stuff that goes along with that, but
can go back into. Yeah, because now you see that if real Survivor turned out like Australian Survivor, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't play again. I want it to be legit. I have passion. I'm super passionate for Survivor because of what it is, because of how they have it. I don't want it to be easy for me, because if it's easy for me, it's easy for them. Yeah. I feed off of their fears. I feed off of it being hard. That's how I play the game. It's a part of my strategic play. So when I went and played Australian Survivor, I said, so you telling me that we have a toilet? And she's like, executive producer. She's like, you don't want everybody shitting in the woods, do you? That isn't gonna. I said it's how I. And then I said it's how I play. I control that. She said, Russell, someone shitting in the woods isn't going to be any different. You're not. It's not gonna fit. It's not gonna change anything. I said, yes, it will. I said, so you're telling me that Miss Universe, because I play with Miss Universe, you're telling me if Miss Universe has to shit in the woods and wipe her ass with a leaf, that's not gonna mess with her psyche.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. Like you haven't
never done that in her life.
Yeah, it's going to be miserable. It's going to be, if you can control the way they feel, you can control the way they think. It's how I play the game. It's how I always play the game. So when you make it easy and you make it to where I don't have to control anything because you are giving us everything, then it makes it. So going back to the first season of Survivor that you guys are going to talk about, guys, you new people that are here, that's what this show is going to be. It's going to be a kind of like a rewatch of Survivor, and then they're going to talk about it. If you want to get involved and watch the seasons as they talk about it, it'd be pretty cool to have you guys do that where we have people commenting on it. Because watching the first season is pretty interesting to see how it's developed. But that's how it started. It evolved in other countries in the wrong way.
Right.
Here, it's still legit. I haven't played since season 22. But in season 22, so I haven't heard that they have toilets, and I haven't heard that they have 5 sets of clothing, and I haven't heard none of that. And if they did, I'd be pretty damn upset. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like if I went out there and have a toilet, I'm not gonna
I don't think we'll see those changes come to the American version of Survivor. At least not while we have Jeff and Mark and everybody so heavily involved in it.
Now the changes can happen when it comes to the way you perceive and the way you take care of situations. In other words, if you have someone out there touching the girls, if they're uncomfortable and don't want to be touched, then they need to be evacuated from. They need to put those things, and they have. Trust me, I know they have. They need to make sure that it evolves that way. It evolves respecting people, man or woman. You got to respect their space and their situation. It wouldn't take much. If I'm sitting by Natalie White, I'm at first, I'll tell you, the first day of Survivor, I'm sleeping by Natalie White. I'm sitting and I'm getting cold, and I get right up on her, and she's like, can you please move over a little bit? She didn't want me touching her first season. So I move over. By day 3, she was on top of me. Because it's so cold, you will cuddle with Rupert.
Yeah.
Now, it does not matter who it is that you're talking to. It's so cold out there. And people say, oh, you didn't. It sounds like, why do you keep doing it if it's so miserable? It's just something that's passionate, man. It's something that's built in me that I have to do. I have to. If I won $1 billion lottery, you're going to probably see me on another season of Survivor.
Yeah.
I might just create it myself if they shut it down. We might just start doing it.
Buy it out.
I just buy it. Whatever. But Jeff has problems now with, people like CBS. They try to say something recently. They spoiled something and Jeff got mad and he tweeted about it. So I did a show. I did a video on that not too long ago. But yeah, I think it'd be fun and interesting to do what you're doing. I'm going to watch the first season over again just so I can get a little bit more involved with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we're going to be premiering on Sunday at 8 p.m. We'll be here on the Russell Hantz Show on YouTube, and we're going to be talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to participate in our rewatch, those are the 3 episodes to watch before Sunday night. And I'm ready to talk about it.
I've been coughing a lot, man. What is that? Is that the Rona?
Oh, let's hope not.
I mean, if it is, it is. What you gonna do? If it was, I'm just gonna stay home and get better.
Yeah, That's all you can do.
Right.
That's all
All right, man. Well, so that's it, guys. That's what we're going to do. You had anything else you wanted to say, Cody?
No, Sunday at 8.
Sunday at 8.
Sunday at 8. Check out episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Survivor Borneo Season 1. That's what we're going to be talking about on Sunday. So I look forward to talking to you guys about that in the comments section. And yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I love Survivor, so I can't wait to watch it all over again.
I'll get Jenna Lewis on the show for you guys and everything. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Should be fun.
That'd be great.
And usually I'm sure the episode's going to last longer, but right now we have a few things going on. All the debate stuff's about to happen, plus Thursday night football. I just won $20,000, by the way.
That's crazy.
I won $20,000 in fantasy football. How does that, dude? I'm still in shock.
And I'm mad that I didn't play your list.
Guys, I posted that lineup on our page. If you haven't joined yet, you can go. It's free to join. It says Patreon, but that's for later on when we start a Patreon group. But if you're in, you're in. So it's the TRHS Sports Patreon group. I posted a $20,000 lineup in there. Nobody played it, and now everybody's like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get. I wouldn't call it luck. It is a little bit of luck for sure, but you have to have some skill. I seen 2 players that were pros. It's what they do for a living in the top 10, right below me. They were still below me.
That's crazy.
So
absolutely crazy.
So that's another thing, guys. But yeah.
So check that out. Check us out on Sunday. Make sure that if you're not subscribed, you hit the subscribe button here on the Russell Hantz Show YouTube channel. Check out TRHS Sports. I think you have a YouTube channel for that, or you do that on here?
Yeah.
It's TRHS Sports on YouTube also, and on Facebook, the TRHS Sports Patron group. All sorts of good stuff. Win $20,000 with Russell Hantz. What better day would you have?
Damn. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and hosting the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me and giving me this opportunity. So I look forward to having you back on and meeting some other castaways. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Come join Sunday at 8.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
All right. Later, guys.